Hello and welcome to the DrivingMaul Super Rugby preview and prediction. Super Rugby kicks off in a couple of days' time, and so it seemed I should jump on here and let you know how I thought things would happen. I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, and welcome along. So, first up, what's the different and what's the same? Super Rugby, in all their infinite wisdom, decided to stick with the controversial format of the conferences and a number of teams as well. Now, they're still obviously, as we've talked before, have gone and put off the long-term decision around that. So that stays the same, but they couldn't avoid tinkering, and so there are some changes around who gets home advantage in the semi-finals of the playoffs, but that's a long way away and we shouldn't worry too much about it now. Teams will just be trying to get as high a seeding as possible, but there's nothing really new there. The other thing is the rotation. So basically Africa Conference 1 that played against the Australian Conference last year, play against the New Zealand Conference this year, and Africa Conference 2, vice versa, they play off against the Australians. So let's jump straight into it and let's talk about Africa Conference 1 first up. So Africa Conference 1, just a quick reminder, is the Bulls, Cheetahs, Stormers and Sunwolves, and they would, as I said, be facing off against the New Zealand Conference. So the Stormers last year complained when they got to the playoffs that they hadn't faced the top opposition, and that wasn't fair on them. They hadn't had a tough enough test. So this year they will certainly be getting that. But on their performances last year, I don't think it's going to do them any favours, apart from give them some more losses, really. The Bulls, with Homre Pollard back this season, obviously he was injured all of last season, are looking, to my mind, a bit of a better prospect out of the two of them, and the Bulls could be going for the top spot. It's going to be interesting to see if the Cheetahs can push on from their Currie Cup win, where they were very successful. I think they went unbeaten from memory. So, and that is how the Lions built their success was from the Currie Cup upwards. Can the Cheetahs emulate that? I'm not expecting finals or playoffs, but it will be good to see an improved performance from them to be more of a challenge. And then finally, the Sunwolves. Let's just hope again that they've learnt from their first season and step up and show some improvements. Again, they're playing games in Singapore and stuff, and the travel will just kill them. So I don't expect them to come last. But again, let's hope they're a bit more competitive when playing at home. They will be facing off against the New Zealand Conference, which last year got 4 members into the playoffs, the maximum. And if anything, it is looking even tighter than before, because last year really the Blues weren't competitive at this level. They were competitive in any other conference, but not in this one. This time, looking at the squad that's been picked to play against the Rebels in the opening round, Sonny Bill Williams, for example, doesn't even make the match to day 23. So they have definitely stepped up. They've got 2 All Black centres on the bench, in Moala and Rennie Ranger, so it just gives you an idea of the strength and depth, at least in the backs. In the forwards, it's a little less. The front 5 is a little less experienced, and it's hopeful they can give them the ball. But I expect again that it'll be Highlanders and Hurricanes at the top, but the Blues are going to cause some upsets and could very well be fighting for a playoff place. And for me, the side that actually looks the weakest in some ways is perhaps the Chiefs, and with a lot of them heading off overseas next season, especially on the coaching staff, and will they get distracted by their new jobs ahead of time, with the head coaches of both Glasgow and Connacht will be having to make arrangements for those clubs towards the end of the Super Rugby season, which might impact them. So I think that the Chiefs could, personally, I think, will be at the bottom end. You've got the Highlanders and Hurricanes basically out at the top, and then the Crusaders and Blues looking at that 3rd and 4th place. But I expect again a good chance for 4 teams to be coming out of the New Zealand Conference. Next up, let's go to Africa 2. This is the conference that we faced off against Australia, and just a reminder, it's got the Kings, who obviously made the final last year. The Jaguares, sorry, not the Kings made the final. It's got the Lions who made the final last year, and the Jaguares, Kings and Sharks. I'm looking for the Lions to push on and have another good season. We'll see the impact of them playing against Australian sides. They're going to get more wins during the group stages, but will that hurt them come the playoffs? The Jaguares, I hope again that we're looking at an improvement from them, and that they institutionally will know how to travel much better than last year, how to fit in training, etc. around all that travel. So I'm looking for them to be more competitive yet again. The Kings, big turnover, and I just expect them to lose every single game and to be useless. To be honest, I really can't see them going anywhere. The politics and the issues around the Kings are just way too much for there to be any on-field progress, and they very nearly didn't even make it the Currie Cup, and they've got the owner of Pro Rugby sniffing around at trying to invest in them, so it's all looking a bit of a mess really. And then finally we've got the Sharks, and let's see if they can upset the Lions, but I don't think so. I think they'll be looking at coming in second again in this, and fighting it out probably with the Stormers for the last wildcard spot. Then we head over to Australia. Obviously we have the Brumbies, Force, Rebels, Reds and Waratahs over there. The Brumbies, for me, they've lost a lot of experience, and this will be a rebuilding season for them. I can't really see them challenging or doing anything at all. The Force are looking a lot better. Ownership issues and the cloud of them actually disappearing and being moved to West Sydney I don't think is there anymore, and so I'm expecting the Force to again step up from last season, but not be really challenging come the end of the season. The Rebels, we'll have to see. I think they're going to need a good start to move up for them to gain some confidence, and facing off against the New Zealand sides, that's always going to be tough for them. And that leaves us with the two teams that I think will be fighting it out at the top, which is the Reds and the Waratahs. The Reds have hired very well, and so even though they were a bit of a mess last season, they did lose their coach after a couple of weeks, and this time they got stability on the coaching side. Some good names signed up, and they're a roster that really could cause some problems. It's just a matter of will they gel quickly enough, and can they get themselves on a nice early season run. And then finally we have the Tars, who are always there or thereabouts. With players like Falau, etc., they're always going to be in the mix in the Australian Conference. So they, with the greater experience, will probably top it, as the Reds just haven't had enough time together to do it. But they do. But they say the Reds could spring a surprise on us with a very impressive squad. So there you go. That's how I think the Super Rugby will pan out from a from a sort of conferences perspective, and you've got to be looking at either, I'd say again, probably the Lions or whoever comes top of the New Zealand Conference to be looking at the finals and being the dangerous people. So basically the winners from the last 2 years, the Highlanders and the Hurricanes, plus the Lions, have got to be all the favourites, and I think they will be there or thereabouts come the sharp end of the season. Thank you for watching. If you are watching this on Periscope, please do share. If it's on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. That's all very nice, and helps me get more viewers and people spread the message. Also, please sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. I just send out a weekly newsletter with all the links to my stuff. Cheers, enjoy whatever rugby you're watching this weekend, and let me know your thoughts.